everyone, I hope you're all doing really well this morning. So today I want to talk about social media, some of the do's and don'ts that we've learned over the past few years. We've certainly been very lucky in the social media realm. Part of it I attribute to being in the right place at the right time, but I also attribute it to hard work and being consistent. And one of the things I really want to encourage you all in today is just to stick with it, because I know how hard it can be at times and how much time it takes, both with what we do with Garden Answer and from a garden center perspective. That's my background, that's where I came from. I ran our social media down at the garden center for quite a number of years, and I know how many other things are pulling at you. There are plants that need you, customers that need you need to do orders and all those kind of things. It's easy for social media to kind of slide into the back seat. And if you're really wanting to grow your audience there and have it be a tool that you're using for marketing, you really can't let that happen. And some of you might have really vibrant Facebook pages already and you've enjoyed really great engagement, but then all of a sudden you see a huge plummet in numbers. And that happens too. Facebook is rolling out new algorithms all the time. They're changing the way people view things, and you just have to stick it out. So there are peaks and valleys. We've gone through it, and we've seen ups and downs. You just have to keep being consistent and keep working at it. So today I want to share some of the things that we've learned. I'm going to start kind of with the bare minimum, whether or not you have a Facebook page and you're trying to start one, or maybe you have one that just isn't very active. The most easy thing that you can do is share content that somebody else has created. So let's say you just got a huge load of annuals in, and you know that you've got a bunch of Supertunias in that load. So search the word Supertunia, see what kind of content you can find already on Facebook. Maybe you can find a Success with Supertunias video by Garden Answer. So watch that video, make sure that you like it, and then share that to your page. And in the description say, hey guys, we just got a huge load of annuals, lots of Supertunias. They're so easy to take care of. Come check them out. Something like that is so easy. It almost takes no time, and you were able to get in a little bit of promotion for what you have down at the garden center. And another thing about sharing is that you don't want to share from across platforms. We see this done a lot. You don't want to share, like for example, a YouTube link to your Facebook page, because it doesn't translate really well. What happens is that it'll share as a box with like a little play icon. Somebody has to physically hit that play button in order to watch the video. You won't get very much engagement out of that because most people won't click that link. However, if you find that same exact video that you found on YouTube, but you find it on Facebook and share it from there, that video will autoplay, so you have much more of a chance to snag their attention because they didn't have to do any work to see it. Same goes for your other social media platforms as well. I think Facebook and Instagram are about the biggest right now for businesses to use. You don't want to share a YouTube link into Instagram because it's not clickable. People won't be able to go anywhere, and most people won't get in there and copy and paste it into a web browser. It just doesn't happen. I think when you're getting started, especially, the best thing that you could possibly do is look at somebody who's successful. What are they doing on social media? How do they put their content out there? Copy it. It will help you out so much to watch what other people are doing. So let's move on to types of content. Let's say you're kind of past the point of sharing all the time. You want to create your own stuff. So we want to give you a few ideas of what you can do. First of all, you obviously want to share information that's pertinent to your business. If you have an internal bowling party, don't share pictures from that. The people who attended it would probably like to see them and would care, but people who are following your Facebook page to see about what new plants you have or what sales you have won't care about that bowling party. I say this kind of in a joking manner, but I've seen it happen, and people just don't really care about the things that go on, and you don't want to become noise to people. You don't want people just to like kind of go by your content because they think it's something that they're not going to care about. So here are a few things that people who are following your page will probably care about a little bit more. First of all, what product you have, anything new that you have in, any sales or deals that you're running, educational things or timely reminders like when it's time to plant fall crops or when it's time to apply winterizer to your lawn, your schedule of events. If you've got classes and seminars coming up, people love to have reminders about that all the time. And also inspirational ideas, and this is a huge one. If you've got something gorgeous out in the nursery, if you run out and take a picture of it, people stop when they're going through their feed. They'll stop when they see something beautiful because they want to study it. They want to be like, what is that? I need that in my garden. And then they'll see that you posted it and maybe you have it. Also, inspirational ideas in the way of seasonal decor, like we're coming into fall right now. So once you get your first load of fall stuff in, make a beautiful planter, take a picture of it, put it out there. It'll get people's juices flowing. They'll get excited about it, and then make sure you have that stuff on hand. Other than sharing things, there are about 3 different ways that you can post your content. There's text, picture, and video. So let's take one idea. Hydrangeas 30% off this week. If you put that out on Facebook and just text, some people might see it, the information's out, but most likely people will just scroll by it because it's not interesting. There's nothing to grab them. As opposed to if you go out and take a picture, run out into the nursery, take a really pretty picture of one of their blooms. So post that picture with the same exact text above it. I guarantee that a lot more people will stop because they see something pretty. And then you move on to video, which is even better. You can run out to the nursery, take a little scan of all the hydrangeas that you have on sale. People get interested in that because they'll watch. They'll be like, ooh, is the one that I really want on sale this week? You know, do they still have it? So video is always a good idea. So let's move right into video content and some of the ideas in that realm. So here are a couple ways that you can share video content. Let's say you just got a brand new load of plants in, fall plants. That's what we just got in down at the garden center. You can take your phone, your camera, run out there, take a little preview video. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You don't have to show the whole load. They don't have to be displayed yet. It just creates some excitement and it's very easy. So here's an example of that. Better yet, you can take that exact same video and put some audio over the top of it to create even more excitement. You can talk about a little bit of the plants that came in, about how they're going to be going fast because they look gorgeous. It's the time of year to be switching them over. So here's an example of that. Hey guys, super exciting day down at the garden center. We just got our first load of beautiful fall color in. Check out these beautiful mums. We also got asters, pansies, even some perennials and perennial grasses. They all look so gorgeous. They're gonna go fast. You should come check them out. You wanna make sure that when you're doing video that you're high energy. You don't wanna be annoying, but you also want to be slightly uncomfortable. I had to learn this. I watched back our first videos and I was so monotone. And so I've had to learn how to kick it up a notch. You have to be like slightly more peppy than you would normally be in a normal conversation, just so people can kind of sense that excitement and that enthusiasm. So you just saw me do that video, high energy, trying to get people excited about the new plants that came in. Let me do that one more time and show you how I see a lot of videos on social media go. A little bit more monotone, and it's really hard to get excited about what you're seeing. Hey guys, just got some new fall plants in. You see we got some cabbage and kale. There are some asters and mums, and then a few pansies. Come check them out. Did that make you want to come in real bad to check out the plants? So whatever type of content you decide to put up, pictures, videos, if you're sharing things, just make sure you're consistent with it. I think that is probably one of the more important things. People like to know when to expect to see your content. We kind of found that in the beginning of Garden Answer. We tend to post it in the morning. So that's just something that we always have been doing. And now we post more than just once a day a lot of the time, but we still have a morning post most days. If we accidentally miss it, we have people sending us messages asking if things are okay. Where's the post? I missed it. That's the start of my morning. So people like to know when they can see your stuff. And it's also good for, I think it is for me anyway, to have a deadline, or whoever you've tasked with social media. If they have a time where we need to have the post out by 8 a.m. today, then it's just nice for everybody to have that consistent schedule. So now let's move from content into equipment that you can be using, as well as some best practices, some of the things we've learned in terms of taking pictures, video, and audio. And you do not have to have fancy equipment. I will be talking about some of the things that are inexpensive to use that make a world of difference, as well as some of the more expensive things that we think are really important. So it isn't all about Facebook and YouTube. Instagram is also huge. I actually post there several times a day, and to Twitter occasionally. I take 99% of my pictures with my phone. I have an iPhone 10. If you have a smartphone made in the last couple of years, you're probably good to go. It's not so much about the type of camera you're using, it's more about the composition of the photo. So here are a couple things to watch out for. The first is to not post low quality or blurry photos. If you're questioning whether or not the picture you took is blurry, it probably is. Don't post that. If you need to ask a second opinion, ask somebody else if it looks blurry, do that before putting it online. It can really be a poor reflection on your brand if you post things like that, because it can kind of come across as being lazy or it's not important to you. And people may not actively be thinking those things, but it's something that they can file in the back of their brain, and they may think that you operate the rest of your business that way and you just let things like that slide. The next thing is to clean your lens, and I really need to practice what I preach in this arena because I am the worst. I use my phone for a lot of stuff. We get our phones all smudgy. Now we have Benjamin, a baby in our house, and he's always wanting to suck on our phones. just take your shirt and clean off that lens real quick. Just give it a quick swipe so that your picture's clean. Also for your other cameras, you know, one time I did a vlog, a whole video worth of projects during the day. I was holding the camera myself. I gave Aaron all the footage. As he was putting it together, he was like, Laura, I can't use this. There's a big water spot right in the middle of the frame. So I wasted an entire day, all of those projects, and we weren't able to use it just because I had a dirty lens. The next one is lighting, and this is such a huge thing to be cognizant of. This is what we deal with, like it's our biggest nemesis in taking videos and pictures. First of all, you want to make sure that you're taking video and pictures in a shady location. Bright indirect light, but no harsh sun. Sun can tend to make colors look different. They don't look as rich. They look blown out, kind of washed out, and also the harsh shadows that the sun gives things. It's very contrasted between light and dark. It's just not a good look. Cloudy days versus sunny days is also an important thing to look out for. So if you have a list of videos you want to take and you have a really sunny day that day, but you notice that the next day calls for overcast, if you can somehow shift those projects to an overcast day, do that, because everything looks so much better. In fact, we have to put off a lot of videos due to lighting issues, especially like if we're doing a video that's showing me put together a project and it's cloudy, so it's shady, and then it's sunny, cloudy, sunny, cloudy, sunny. That's really hard to do video of. It's really hard for people to watch that. Also, you want to make sure that your background when you're taking pictures is also kind of shaded. It doesn't have to be 100% shaded. You can probably see a little bit of light on the coleus back here, but for the most part, we don't have a blown out background. It doesn't look washed out. There's not too much bright, and then I would look way too dark up here. So I want you guys to see what this looks like. I want to take the same plant. I'm going to be setting it right here in this full sun. Check out how this looks. It's really hard to see exactly what color it is. There's harsh shadows. It just doesn't look very pretty. But when I take the same plant and put it in this nice shady location, look at how rich the color looks. You can see all the detail. There isn't harsh shadows. It makes such a huge difference. The next thing is to maybe think about taking your pictures from a different perspective. I think most people, it's kind of habitual. We take our camera like this and we kind of point down at our subject and take our picture. Maybe get down on its level. I do that a lot now with Benjamin. I get down on his level so I can take a picture of his sweet little face. And maybe try to take something from a side angle, something like that, so that it looks interesting and different. You can get some really cool shots if you just kind of think outside the box. And the last thing I wanted to talk about in regards to cameras, particularly on your phones, is a mode called portrait. So iPhone was the first one who came out with this, and they call it portrait mode. I know a lot of the other Android phones have this mode. I'm not sure what it's called though. But what it allows you to do is take a picture with your subject in focus, but everything in the background is blurred out, so it has a very professional look to it. So let me show you an example. I'm going to take this really beautiful mom and take just a regular picture where everything is in focus, and now let me show you what that same mom looks like in portrait mode. It makes such a huge difference. It looks so much more professional, and then if you've got junk in the background or whatever, you don't have to worry about all those details because they're all blurred out. So don't worry so much about what kind of equipment you have to use. A lot of times phone does it. I don't use our bulky video cameras to go take pictures very often just because it's too much of a process. I need it to be fast and efficient, and I know that's how it needs to be at a garden center as well. So while the type of camera you're using is not of the utmost importance, good audio is. So if you're using your phone to record your video, you want to make sure to hold it just a couple of feet from your mouth, because that's the way the microphone was designed to pick up audio. If you're videoing somebody or taking a video of somebody behind a table like 10 feet away or whatever, you want to make sure to pick up a lavalier mic that you can plug into your phone. That way you'll have good audio. So real quick, I want to give you an example of how horrible and frustrating it can be to watch a video with poor audio. In fact, Aaron is standing with his cell phone about 10 feet away from me. He's recording what I'm saying right now with his phone so that you can hear what the audio sounds like. It's even worse if I were to turn away. So I see a lot of people doing like interview style videos where there's two people, they're constantly turning, talking to each other. The audio changes, and it's so frustrating to try to listen to that. So I'm wearing a lavalier mic. You can see right here, usually I have it clipped to my back pocket. My mic is actually hooked to my tank top underneath my shirt. So if you're going to be doing any kind of videos where you're wanting to capture interviews or somebody far away from the camera, you really do need to buy a lavalier mic. This is where you'll probably want to spend the most of your budget in the beginning, is to get yourself set up with good audio. So now I want to talk about what type of footage you're capturing. First of all, you want to make sure it's not shaky and that you're not moving too fast. You want people to be able to distinguish what you're pointing your camera at. So if you tend to have shaky hands when you're taking pictures or videos, there are a couple of things that you can get to help yourself out. So first of all, tripods. You can see the one that we're using right now. Erin's showing that one to you. You can get heavy duty ones, more lightweight and expensive ones. If you're wanting to just get a static shot where nobody's moving, like right now, I'm just standing in front of this camera talking to you, you don't need anything other than a tripod for that. Now, if you want to take a moving shot, like of a load that you just got in or some beautiful plants or kind of a tour around the garden center, you'll want what's called a gimbal, and gimbals help you get really steady footage. So this one right here is for cell phones. Cost about $100, super inexpensive for what it gives back to you. And then you can see Erin right there. He's got one of our main video cameras on a larger gimbal, so you can get one for all different sizes of cameras. So let me show you what this does. I have some Coleus back here that I want to show you. See how nice and steady that is? I can get close in on it. I can move back away from it. It makes everything smooth and easy. So the last thing is about how we edit our videos, and there are a lot of different editing programs out there. If you are brand new to this, you don't know where to start, we recommend the easiest way to get into it is to buy a Mac. Macs come with iMovie already installed on the computer. That's what Erin used to edit our videos for the first year or year and a half of making Garden Answer videos. We've since upgraded to Final Cut Pro. It's easy to cut up video, add music, add transitions, all that sort of thing. I've even learned a little bit about how to edit on that computer, which I never thought I would. So if you have no idea what to do and where to start, that's what we recommend because we just found it easy.